And the gold medal parade continues here from the Zatzman Sportsplex. It's Lacrosse Canada Minor Box Nationals and Maritime Athletic Profiles. This is the U15 coed featuring Team British Columbia in the blue and Team Ontario in the red. Team British Columbia looking to try to sweep the gold medals. They've got two in their back pocket, courtesy of U13 and U15 females. Now we've got coed action with British Columbia, as I said, in the blue, Ontario in the red. Dan Hobson along for the call here in this one. And Lowe will start this first possession here for British Columbia. And he has the ball once again right in the middle. Good quick passing on the outside. Higginson Trotter. A loose ball up. That's scooped up by Phillips. Phillips go down a shot. Pad save. And a quick early test there for Team Ontario. Pacey. A shot. And a stop there by William Nichols there, the goaltender here for Team British Columbia. Pusty, the starting goaltender there for Team Ontario, wearing number 31. And both goaltenders have had at least a touch so far early in this one. And Ontario there, in the midst of a change as Campbell joins. Campbell shot, and the pad save there by Nichols. And a new clock. Belfry. Oh, it's a loose ball. Hayes was looking up and off to the races for British Columbia. Clark will settle it down for Team Ontario. Podstatsky scores! And a quick strike here by Ontario has them up 1-0. Looked like a bit of a broken play as you take a look at it here on the replay. And they just got it past Nichols to make it 1-0. And that's a good start there for the team from Ontario. Lowers cutting towards. Mason Podstatsky with the goal here for Ontario to make it 1-0. And Ontario on the march again. Lord. Oliver Pacey. A shot that's well off the mark and goes out of play. British Columbia here looking to probably strike quickly. Tanner Craigs up center. Has Phillips and Hong. Phillips has it. A little bit of a pick there by Craigs as he comes over to assist. Hong trying to go up for it, but it's stolen. And unable to get the shot. There was a good end-to-end rush there by Georgiev there for Team Ontario. Gathered up from his own zone and took it the other way. But still 1-0 lead as Claxton comes up. Cohen Claxton. He hands it off to team captain Mulosky. And the save there by Putsty. And they go end-to-end and an opportunity there for Days. Once again, that will hit the netting and stop play, so it's British Columbia ball. Quickly coming up to nearly almost 5 minutes gone, and lots has happened so far here in this one. And Ontario on the board early. Lewis just fresh off the bench. There's a shot and a pad save there once again for Pusty. And a penalty coming up, and Pushti gonna go try to get the extra attacker here for Team Ontario. So, and they have the extra attacker out there. Belfry. And the first penalty of the game was going against Hunter Lewers. Looked to be a cross-checking penalty, so man advantage or person advantage here for Team Ontario. Campbell will start this off here. Nothing going on out there. Kitchen, just shot. We're gonna call it a check to the face, check to the head. Low. Double team there. Low trying to get away from it and does. Eludes the double team. Low fakes. Can't pull the trigger to get a shot. Settled down there by Rex Campbell. Ontario just going to try to get something set up. They didn't have numbers, so they get a reset here. Campbell. Kitchen. Day. A shot there and was going down there. That was not the easiest of shots there for Dunstan. Campbell. What's so interesting here is that, of course, that they are man up and they are taking the try to settle up to try to get that good look there at Nichols. They had the right play set up, but Dunstan had difficulty handling it. Dunstan had a difficult time handling it. My apologies there. Lord just freshly off the bench. A swing over. Alinsky shot and a pad save there by Nichols. He got a good portion of it. Southpaw goaltender. Nalisnik. British Columbia now trying to take advantage here. They said, ooh, that was hard. Is going into the boards there for Team British Columbia was Marcus Phillips. Heard that thud ring out here at the Zatzman Sportsplex. A tripping call going against Team Ontario's Price Teft. Well, British Columbia has a chance to try to draw even here with 6:50 and change left in this first period. Lowell back goes. They swing it from side to side. Phillips and a save made there by Pusti. Hayes. Phillips. Good save there by Pusti. Sort of just like closed the 5-hole, put his glove in with behind his leg to make sure that that didn't get through. Gabrielle goes down. Phillips steals it for British Columbia. But he's at the end of his, no, he's not at the end of the shift. He just wants to reset to Hayes, so he's going to stay out there. He gets the return pass. Hayes. Swing out the other side. Phillips. They get a new 30-second. There. Got a penalty coming up to Ontario. This one's Lord that's going to go to the sin bin. Oh, it's two-man advantage for about 30 seconds here for British Columbia. Chance, a good chance for them. 5-on-3, a shot, and that's wide and hits the end. Five to go up the center. Comes Craigs. And Ontario here hoping to try to kill some seconds. They're down two people, soon going to be down by one person as the penalty here to Teft is over. So it's 5-on-4 now. 4:39 remaining, first period. Lowell with the drop back to Phillips. British Columbia trailing by one. There's the shot, and once again, that's with the glove between the legs style there on that shot. There by Wiseman from British Columbia. Ontario on the press again. Podstatsky. Rogatinsky. Teft back from the box. Sends it down low. Less than 4 to go. Shot clock at 2. Gonna have to hurry. Not in time. Bree ball. And Wiseman's going to go off here. There's a delay penalty there. So this one has seen its fill of people going to the sin bin here. So clock, of course, counting down. So by the time that, so it will now be officially a power play here for Ontario. Campbell will start this off. Rex Campbell gets the return pass. Campbell, Lord. Lord with the return pass. A shot there. Fired by Kitchen is stopped there by Nichols. Kitchen gets it and they'll reset in a new 30. Lord. Pass a little bit too high there for Kitchen. Goes back for it. 10 to shoot. Lord. Ontario called for pick, so it's going to be BC ball. And now they'll set it up here, so safe. It's a man down here for British Columbia, so but they're still on the attack. A good chance as Wilkins was down low. Manages to tiptoe to stay out of the crease. Kitchen. Kitchen has Quinton, Campbell, and Day out here. Minute and 48 left to go. First period. 20 seconds left in the penalty. Shot fired and a save there by Nichols, and he's had to look stellar. Still 1-0. Dry. Teft. There's Campbell. Campbell trying to get a lane shot and a save there by Nichols. Penalized players back. He's confused the situation, so he saw the time back on the clock, went back, so a little miscommunication and it's in. Wiseman thought that he was still on the clock and went back, and they were waving him on. What's going on is once the penalty goes to 1, it automatically switches over to the 2 minutes. It caused confusion for Wiseman, and he started going back, and Ontario had the man advantage, and they were able to capitalize and make it 2-0. A little bit of bad luck there for British Columbia. Podstatsky has 1 goal here in this one. We're going to hear the official announcement. Rex Campbell, the goal. British Columbia would like to get one here before the end of this first period, 15 seconds, and cross-check being called as Scrutton cross-checked the British Columbia player into the goal crease area, so he'll go off, and this has been a busy first period, and lots of players going to the box. And after 15 minutes of play, Team Ontario leads British Columbia 2-0 here in the U15 coed gold medal. Here on Maritime Athletic Profiles, Dan Hobson here for the call, making my debut at doing lacrosse calling, so we all got to start somewhere. So I said, Podstatsky and Campbell, the goal scorers there for Team Ontario. Nichols with a couple of big saves, and as I said, this has been a game that's been plenty in the penalties here so far. If memory serves me correct, I think it's probably about like 5 to 6 penalties so far in this one, but I could be wrong on that one, so we don't have a stat sheet, and I don't have a statistician, so definitely was the story so far, was there was a lot of penalties there for both teams, and that second goal, as I said, it was Wiseman was looking up at the clock and thought, well, was it a double minor, and started going back to the box and couldn't join the play, and it might have made a difference in that second goal there that Rex Campbell got, but you know, hindsight's 20/20 on that one, but basically that was sort of one of the most interesting things that I've seen is, you know, a goal of the penalties going down to 2-1 and then automatically going back to 2 minutes, as we're taking a look at some of the highlights of that first period of action. You got to wonder here for Team British Columbia, it would really be important for them to strike early here in this second period. Pusti's had to look good for Team Ontario, as well as Nichols. Like, Nichols had more of the shots. Ontario's had the shots on goal, and that's not something that they record here at the championships, but definitely had the good scoring chances, so. British Columbia here. With a man advantage. Let's see if they can use it to their advantage. As they make noise here at the Zatzman Sportsplex, period number 2 underway in the coed gold medal. Ontario called for the foul, so it's going to be British Columbia ball. And here is Phillips. Now swing to the outside. Clock at 14. Wiseman. Phillips with the shot. And once again, stop made by Pusti. Lord quickly up. Rex Campbell, he's got a goal here in this one. And he's on the march. Ontario's in the midst of a change, so he's all by himself. Lord was going to go to the bench, but he stays out there. Also out there is Kitchen, so just 3 men on this attack. Shot clock at 8. Of course, they're down a man. Campbell doing some good penalty killing here, and then does get a shot that Nichols has to make a stop on. British Columbia, Phillips calls for it and gets it there. It is the Ontario zone. British Columbia, 44 seconds left in the penalty here. A save once again by Pusty. He has looked good. Wiseman on a bounce, gathers it up. Phillips. Wiseman tees it up. And the stop made there by Pusty. And like that, British Columbia makes a couple of changes. Craigs comes out. Ball gets by everybody and goes in behind the goal, and on the bounce there is Tanner Craigs. Claxton. Back to Phillips. Wiseman. Hayes. Wiseman. They're going to tee it up. A shot that misses the mark. 10 to shoot again. Wiseman. And a pad save there by Pusty. Lowell. And a new clock here for British Columbia. 25 to shoot. They've got lots of time. Phillips, backhand pass. Hayes! And looks. Did it go out of play? No, it's going to still be BC ball here, and they'll get a new clock to go along with it as Phillips trying to elude Rex Campbell. Hayes looked 1 second and lost the ball, but regathers it for British Columbia. Wiseman. Oh, he was pushed there by Clark, which impeded his ability. So Ontario getting in a little bit of difficulty here on this possession. Giving British Columbia some third or fourth, even fifth opportunities. Another save there by Pusty. Ontario there chasing, defending. This takes a lot out of you when you're defending in lacrosse because you got to do a lot of movement. So it's a lot of pressure sustained. Phillips of a shot there. Not sure if Pusty saw it, but Ontario gathers it, and then muchly needed a change as they had a lot of people out there and they were gassed. Teft. Rogatinsky with an open lane. And stop made there by Nichols, caught up in his gear, picked out there by Phillips. And both teams start changes. Wilkins. Quickly up, Foreman. Player has lost his stick there for Team Ontario, so this is pretty much, whether you want to say it or not, almost makes them shorthanded for the meantime. But the ball will go back. So no over and back, but sent back down there by British Columbia. And they wanted to get some new people out there, so they just set it down. Ontario ball. Georgiev. Here's Pemberton. They'll swing back. Dry. And driving toward the nets was to Levy. Went down. So that causes a stop. Georgiev. A fresh clock here for Ontario. Up by 2, looking to get some shorts here. Shot at 17, so they still got lots of time. Halfway through the clock, Georgiev. Watched there by Wilkins. Shot, and Nichols gets a piece of it. Ontario has it in behind the goal. Pemberton. Here's Summers. 18 to shoot there. Georgiev getting away there. Gets a couple whacks from Wilkins in the process for good measures. That shot misses. Ooh, might have been a little bit of a high stick that caught up in the area, but seemed to have gotten away with it as British Columbia will now make changes. Higginson Trotter. Hong. Good short passes here by British Columbia. Hong. Captain's got it again, and that was a high shot there. That Pusty sort of stopped with his neck and head area. That's using your head, as On Wright would say. 8:44 remaining. Still looking for a goal here in the second period. Both Ontario goals came in the first from Podstatsky and Campbell. Have them up 2-0. Nichols lets it get with a stop there with the left pad and kicked it. Goes all the way back down here to Ontario zone. It's scooped up by Tyson Gabrielle as he crosses center. Belfry. Campbell, as I said, one of the two markers here for Ontario. Shot scores! He's got his second. Makes it 3-0 as he went down low on Nichols. Fired that. And he's fired up. You take a look at it on replay. Once he had that opportunity and then just had the room and just put a bullet down low against Nichols. Those are harder ones to stop than the ones that are high because so sometimes going low is the best way to go, and it has been here for Campbell. He got his second. 3-0 Team Ontario. Vanderwall. But, as I said, with this sport, a 3-goal lead, not really safe, so can't sit back. Teft. Ontario in the midst of a change, and he puts it right into the stick of Hayes. But Hayes is all by himself momentarily. Claxton just fresh off the bench for British Columbia. William also joining up. It's a fresh change here for British Columbia. Wilkins. Foul to British Columbia as Teff will start it up. Gets a little bit of a stick from Stefan Rasic. Day. End of a shift for him. Campbell. Ontario pressing again. Campbell looking for the hat trick third goal. And I think that Nichols gets a piece of that one before it goes into the netting. So it will be Ontario still having it a new 30 for them. Georgiev. Nice little stick moves there by Nelisnik. Number 9, Nicholas Nelisnik. Bouncing ball. Rasic gathers it up for British Columbia and will go towards the corner. Takes a bump there from Canada. Boy, he's double teamed and goes, gets a little bit roughed up along the boards. Phillips. Lots of time there on the 30 for them. Hong comes in, calling for direction, says go in behind the goal. So they do a shot there. Pushti makes a stop and another stop by Pushti. Boy, he's looking like he could get himself an MVP here in this one and a new 30 here for British Columbia as he has made some tough stops here. As British Columbia is pressing once again and another stop. And that will bounce into the penalty bench area. Play back underway. Good passing here. And Miloski was right there, but couldn't get it into the twine. 4:40 left. Ontario leading 3-0. Belfry. Gabrielle. Looking for Clark. Clark was open. Clark cuts towards the middle. Clark thought about shooting. Gets a couple of hacks there from Phillips. Clark trying to spin away. Pressure. Looking for some help. Pass eludes everybody. The clock was winding down, so another lost stick here. Picked up by British Columbia. Back they come. Craigs. Tanner Craigs. Wiseman. Oh, nice toe-to-toe passes. Chris Passanis Foreman was on the run, catches it on the run, and gets a short little shot that Pushti had to make a stop on. Pemberton trying to get away from Wiseman. Couple of whacks, gets away, up to center, down into British Columbia zone. on the attack. Tried to hand it off to Clark. Clark wasn't quite ready. He was also gassed at the end of a shift. Shot clock at 10. Lord. Ontario's going to have to hurry. Shot clock at 2, gathered up, and British Columbia's having a little spin move there by Foreman to get away. Foreman. Claxton. Claxton calls out a play here. Vanderwall. Hayes. Pass very hot there for Rasick. Scrutton on a 2-on-1. Scrutton scores as it just squeezes by Nichols 4-0. Bobby Scrutton, he had to wait a little bit. As you take a look, as you saw it on replay, it's just squeezed through. Well, I said in our last game, 4 goals. That's not a safe margin either. Maritime. Bobby Scrutton has made it 4-0. As I say, and like when our lacrosse coverage that we've had done throughout the summer in the league, Sackville was down by 4 to St. John, and they managed to score 4 quite quickly and erased a 5-1 deficit, and it was 5-5. So anything is possible here for British Columbia as they are pressing again. Hong, 8 to shoot. That hits the netting and goes out of play. Actually said they hits an Ontario player, so it's going to stay with British Columbia, and they'll get a new 30 here. And they're doing a little bit of a partial change here as Team British Columbia as Long jumps into the play. 18 seconds left, scooped up by Team Ontario, and here they come. Bell Fry. Now Lisnick. Campbell, who's got 2. Team Ontario, under a minute to go here in the second period. Now Lisnick. Good chance by Pacey, and that goes out of play, but it's off of BC, so it will stay with Ontario. Pretty much a 6-second difference between the game clock, shot clock. BC could hold on here and get a shot at the late seconds if they need to, but it's picked off by Ontario. And they're going to fire from long distance from about center. That's stopped by Nichols. He sends it towards the corner. Gathered up by Hayes, but they're unable to get anything going quickly up to get a shot before the end of the period as the horn goes to end the second period. So Team Ontario with a 4-goal lead. 15 minutes away here from a championship for them. But as I said, there's lots of lacrosse left to go. 15-minute period, so. British Columbia on the female side, U13 and U15 have some medals, so defeating Team Ontario. So Ontario trying to get on the board and maybe possibly prevent the British Columbia from sweeping the medal Fridays. But Ontario with a very good, and you've also got to give Cameron Poosty credit because he has looked stellar when called upon. Like British Columbia, had a little bit of control of the plays. We're taking a look at some of the highlights here from that second period and throughout the game so far as we get ready for the third period. And he has been stellar between the pipes. Here has Pusty. So British Columbia have had their chances, and he's just managed to shut the door. Nichols, good as well. So Lacrosse Canada Minor Box Nationals, and we've got the U22 female game. It was scheduled to be about 1:30, but we're probably looking at a 2 o'clock start for that one. So if you come on air for 1:30 for that game and hasn't got underway yet, that's the reason why they're going to push that to probably about a 2 o'clock start here. And I'm looking forward to that one. It's an all-Western matchup between British Columbia and Alberta. Now, you know that those teams know each other, so there's going to be no big secrets in that one, the U22 gold medal final. And we'll have it here in Maritime Athletic Profiles. Hope you really get a chance to watch that one. Definitely important here for British Columbia to try to get something out of this here in the early going. If they're going to mount a comeback, they're going to have to start. Early goal would really help in that cause. They're going to have Vanderwall, Craigs, Hong, Foreman, and Rasick to start out here for them. Ontario trying to get something started here, see what they're doing. We'll have Kitchen, Day, Campbell, Lord, so it will be Day, Campbell, Dunton, Teft, and Kitchen. The 5 here for Ontario. Ontario with the clean draw, face-off win. Campbell's got a couple in this one. They're up by 4. And they have a man advantage shot. And a big stop there by Nichols as he sprawls down to gather it up before it could be scooped in there by Team Ontario. Minute and a half left in the penalty, the Higginson Trotter. Phillips. Shot clock at 7. Fires, and that doesn't get through as Lord gets in the way of that one as it bounces towards Pusty. Gathered up. And Campbell will start this attack here for Ontario. The defense chant from Team British Columbia starting to ring out here at the Zatzman Sportsplex. A big shot that bounces off. A chance here, Vanderwall! Oh, and a stop there by Pusty. Hunter Vanderwall with the best chance for British Columbia, but Pusty shuts the door. Ontario maybe with one last shot with the man advantage or the person advantage. Campbell. That hits a shin and doesn't get towards the net, but a new 30, so might have got a piece. So they'll get a new clock nonetheless. That's a back over half violation there against Ontario. British Columbia. Hayes. A little bit of room. Wiseman on the run. And the shot there by Higginson Trotter is stopped by Pusty. Boy, he has looked solid. Now, the funny thing is he's faced more of the shots than Nichols. So he's been a little bit of a factor here. Pusty with the tougher stops than Nichols. Ontario once again. Now Lisnick. Pass eludes everybody and goes out to the other side in a foot race here with Claxton gathering it up for British Columbia. 3 minutes gone here. Third period. British Columbia looking to strike here. Lowell. Wilkins comes off the bench there as Lowell was waiting for that change to finish for British Columbia. Phillips in the middle, fires there, and it's going to be called for the back over half violation, so Ontario has it, and they'll start it down low. Pacey. Lord trying to maybe get a little bit of room there for his teammate. Scrutton looking for a loose pass, trying to get loose from Vanderwall and can't. Spinning away Lord. Clock at 6, and then they managed to get a shot that Nichols has to make a stop on. A one and done for Ontario as up comes Foreman here for British Columbia. Quickly back. James Vanderwall. Hunter Vanderwall 17. James Vanderveen number 19. Vanderveen. And BC scores! They needed that one. You have to get help from your captain as Phillips gets the goal. And that was big. 4-1. Marcus Phillips. I remember being at one of my first sporting events live, and I can remember somebody on that bench at that hockey game. Yes, I will say hockey. And he said the first one comes hard, the other ones come easy. So we'll see if that's the story here for British Columbia. 4-1, 9:52 and change left to go. Scores! That didn't take long. Mac Day. 5-hole on Nichols. The quick strike makes it 5-1. So BC was maybe hoping to build some momentum off the goal, and Ontario needed a quick response, and they got it. 5-1, 9:14 left to go. Greggs. Up to the middle. Phillips, who's got the lone goal here for British Columbia, and he's got the ball once again. As Higginson Trotter, Hayes, come off the bench here for British Columbia. 8:50 left. Outside, Phillips. Phillips, open lane. Doesn't get the shot as he's pushed there by Campbell before he can get the shot. Ontario ball, 8.5 left. Georgiev gets it near center and brings it up here for Ontario. Summers quickly off the bench and has the ball. They go back outside to Levy. Over Clark. Clark trying to find nothing there. Back out, shot! And he might not have looked good at doing it, but William Nichols does keep it out, and that's the most important thing here for British Columbia. Was looking around and maybe out of position, but it went and scooped up out the other side and picked up by his teammate. Wilkins here. Shot clock at 7 as Ontario making some noise here. Gonna have to hurry. Shot off at 3. That's going to be a 30-second violation here against British Columbia, and they'll try to squeeze in a change as Ontario hits center. Kitchen. Dunton and Theft out here as well as Campbell. Campbell cutting towards net, looking for the loose puck. Loose ball, sorry. There's my first mistake of the day. Opportunity shot just outside the crease, another shot. And that's good. Scores. Price. Theft. 6-1. Well, with 6:47 and the clock counting down, that just might be the dagger or the explanation point, the finishing point here on this one. 6-1, and Ontario on the march again. Day, who's already got one. So it's been, everybody has sort of chipped in this one. Day, as I said, who's got one. Lots of time to shoot for them. 6:12 left. 20 on the clock. Gabrielle. Dry. Scrutton lost his stick and went off. Lowell. BC in the midst of a change. Higginson Trotter. In behind the goal. Is trying to spin away. There was Mulosky. The door has come loose there on that corner, so that's definitely dangerous. So the referee's going to try to get some help there to get that closed properly so that it doesn't reopen. In the meantime, cross-checks exchanged here by Lord and Vanderveen. They're from British Columbia, and the referee steps in between that to make sure no more becomes of that. Oh, still more shots, and the referee's still right there. Vanderveen. And they're going to try to fix this door, and the officials have come in here, tried to get this fixed. So the teams have been sent over to their respective benches with 5:34 left to go. And because the thing is that you see these doors open in the sport of ice hockey, and this is an ice arena. You don't usually like to see those doors open when there's body contact and the players go through, because that's can lead to injuries, and they're still having difficulty. Now you got a 3-person team here trying to shut the door. Looks like victory is the one of the officials just did like a palms up in the air sort of thing. So that's the reason why we have the delay, having difficulties trying to get that. They've had 3 people try to slam that door. And this is all volunteers, folks. This is not people that have worked at the building here. One of the Lacrosse, Nova Scotia execs also over there to look the situation over. And that's why we have the delay. It's not really just the hook part, but it's also one of the parts that they're sort of dealing with up top. So, once again, two of the referees there on in, as well as one of the off-floor officials trying to fix this door. And I think that we're going to have a little bit of a longer delay here. Probably waiting for a staff member from the Zatzman Sportsplex. Back a long, long time ago, one of the guys that ran this building, back when it was called the Dartmouth Sportsplex, was Rod Dixon. Rod Dixon was a very great, nice gentleman. Was involved with, well, it was the Dartmouth Subway organization, and it's now called the Steel Subarus U15. Anyway, a few years before COVID, we lost Rod. And he was involved in the Ice Jam over in Bedford. Well, this, coming back into this building sort of brings back memories of Rod. And, the thing is that he would always be quick here to attend to any issues. So, not only does the hockey world miss you, but the Zatzman Sportsplex misses you as well. So, it's kind of nice to be back here for this championships. This is where it all started, in this very area that I was working at a few years ago. Well, it was not even a few years ago. It was quite a long time ago. Brad Crosley and the Subways allowed me to come up here to start practicing calling games, and this is where it all began for me. So it's nice to come back home, as one of the rink staff has now showed up here on the scene and try to fix this gate. Well, one of the things that I forgot to bring with me was the carpenter belt. So this one's going to, as I say, take a little bit more of attention. Not It almost looks like, excuse me, almost looks like it's just not latching. So the staff attendant from the Zatzman Sportsplex has gone back to probably get some hardware or some tools here to fix this. And he's got the drill. Could be one of those lip things, like if it comes out then you're trying to shut the door, it will just prevent you from shutting that door. So And of a very very warm building. As you see, Pusti's also there over there. He's taken off some of his gear here just in the process of trying to at least cool off for this remaining 5:34. This once again was get everybody a reset. There was the boards came loose, and anytime this happens, you got to think of player safety. So it's not a matter of just getting through the 5:34, or you can't really carry over it into a fourth period to do this. So this is why they do this. But if this happened like in the second period, they probably would have just done that and just added the time on to try to fix it. But with really short intermissions as well, that wouldn't be beneficial. So they obviously have to do this. So the interest of player safety. Well, we'll just remind folks that, hey, this is Gold Medal Friday, so we've got 2 gold medals handed out here. We're in the middle of number 3 and number 4. I almost say you have to say is a main event caliber game. You've got the U22 females here, so you've got Alberta and British Columbia. Rivals for sure, know each other for sure. Not going to be a surprise factor, so that should be a dandy of a game, and that is going to be coming up. We were scheduled to have that at 2 o'clock, but that may be delayed a little bit as well, as they are trying to fix the door. So Maritime Athletic Profiles have been here all week, and will be here for the U22 final between Alberta and British Columbia. Kind of blocked, as I'm not sure if they're using the handyman secret tool of duct tape here to try to fix some of this. Even people are starting to use that on their cars when they have accidents. They just like cover it up with duct tape. They have black car, black duct tape. Gray car, gray duct tape. I'm sure that the people of Ontario would maybe like this, maybe even British Columbia. Ladies and gentlemen, a special appearance by Red Green. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. That's my best Red Green impression. That's not bad. Legendary comedian. He did. A lot of people don't know that Red Grade was Steve Smith, and he had a show, Smith & Smith, that him and his wife did for years. And a very talented singer to boot. A lot of people forget about that with his red-green shtick that he had for years. Now we'll get back into some lacrosse calling here, actually. This is about, you're looking at a lot of games over a short amount of time, so definitely a lot of tired players here, and they've been playing in very, very warm conditions. They have fans throughout, right along the bench side area. And looking at some of this viz from these championships, you've also seen sort of like fans even floor level. So goes to show you how warm it's been here at these championships. good attendance here so far. Like, you can definitely see that it's been sort of like a team British Columbian, team Ontario sort of morning and afternoon so far. This has been Team Ontario and Team British Columbia in the U13 female, U15 female, and this is the U15 coed. So they are basically have been here since this morning supporting the other teams. And it's making for very good attendance on what has turned out to be a beautiful Friday in Dartmouth. Just shy of the McDonald Bridge that connects Dartmouth to Halifax. It's Zatzman Sportsplex. Now, I know it's the wrong sport, but this building has seen some players that have moved on to some great things. You think of Sidney Crosby, Olaf Kolzig, the goaltender for Washington Capitals, National Hockey League, played in this building as well, also a member of the Subways program, which is what it was called back then. A lot of the talk yesterday in the area was Brad Marchand at the Dairy Queen in Fall River. Was originally supposed to be somewhere else, but due to the wildfires in Nova Scotia had to be rescheduled. Well, Brad Marchand had a brother, Jeff Marchand, who was a defenseman here for the Subways from way back when. Played in this building. Also was a player by the name of Ben Duffy. He went on to play for PEI, the Quebec Maritime's Junior Hockey League. Wasn't called that back then, but stellar player as well. Was also watching a little bit of the East Coast League lacrosse and Cooper Puma. Now, he played the Nova Scotia Junior Hockey League this past winter and has played lacrosse here over the summertime here for the Sackville team when they played out of the Sackville Arena. So you see the connection between lacrosse and hockey. So now we got Lacrosse Nova Scotia as well. Still some of the rink staff, more rink staff coming to show, try to fix this door. As we're taking a look at some of the highlights of this game here between Ontario and British Columbia, the U15 coed. So a very long delay of getting this door fixed. And as I said, you're looking at some of the action that, in case you've just joined us here on Maritime Athletic Profiles, we thank you for tuning in. We hope that you've enjoyed the coverage through the week. And of course we've had like coverage at Greenfoot Arena in Bedford, so and I know that we're probably just a few minutes away here from getting this game back underway. So get everybody up to date. It's been basically Marcus Phillips, the lone marker here for British Columbia. Rex Campbell has 2, Price Theft 1, Mac Day, Bobby Scrutton, and Mason Plotstatsky. And he's the one that opened the scoring here for Ontario, and they pretty much have had the lead throughout this entire lacrosse game. And it was a quick strike from Ontario, and then they have gotten another one to really sort of like push this open. 6-1. So what has been a lengthy delay. I didn't set up my stopwatch. I'm not sure where we at and how long this delay has been. Right, there is some Zatzman Sportsplex arena workers here to try to defuse this situation. Now, there was a motivational speech here by British Columbia like minutes ago. Feels like longer than that, but they may have to redo that speech here as to try to get back to focus and back into the task. It's still lots of lacrosse left here. 5:34 down by 5. Analytics will say that it's a big hill to climb, but as I said, with this East Coast League that we've covered throughout the summer here on Maritime Athletic Profiles, anything can happen. I mentioned about that game between St. John and Sackville, and St. John got up 5-1, and then 4 quick strikes by Sackville and made it 5-5. So, if you've learned anything at all in terms of Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. One of the Zatzman workers once again going back for some more hardware, so it's turned into a lengthy delay. I tell you that it said that Pooch D was the starter goaltender for Ontario, was trying to get as cool as possible. He's got his gear practically off. Has taken his sweater, shoulder pads off now. His goaltending equipment has been like outside of the net. So trying to do whatever he can to try to keep cool. This is a very warm Zatzman Sportsplex. I'm not even sure when they're going to start to put the ice into this arena. I would have to probably think relatively soon, maybe. U18 leagues, Nova Scotia U18 Hockey League starts up, so I imagine that's a save for like Ontario, British Columbia. Probably ice getting into the arenas, and they're now going to test it. A few applause here. And I imagine they're going to try to test the door. Safe, yes it is. Fantastic work here by the crew. They get some appreciations there. Did you just wow? Did you just wow? Yeah. Okay. Director Dillett just did a big woo, so I'm sure you might have heard that one. Said I get these booth cans on. I don't know if he did that, but he did. So here we are back underway. 5:20 and left. Campbell on the march here. Campbell's got two. Stop there by Nichols. Just like that, Nichols leaving the net. An open cage, extra attacker here for British Columbia. Got to take a chance to give himself a chance here. 6 attackers, down by 5, under 5 to go. Phillips in the middle, back out. Wiseman with a shot that hits a body and goes towards the corner as the clock was winding down. And Nichols was now going back, so you can see what they're trying to do. Anytime BC will have the ball, Nichols will go off for that change. Kitchen has it. Outside. Couple of quick moves there. Podstatsky. Kitchen, return pass. 16 on the shot. Kitchen. Podstatsky. Pemberton spinning away, trying to elude the defender. The shot as the clock was winding down. Wasn't much there, Kitchen had, so he put it up into the net and out of play. And once again, the 6 attackers out here for British Columbia. Lowell, Phillips. Lowell. Hong, and the stop made. There you go, just like that, quickly. Nichols gets back in time. Campbell, 2-on-1, looking for Kitchen. And gets settled into his net just in time, but the shot doesn't come. 15 to shoot here. Ontario happy maybe to try to do a little bit of a keep away, and that's the case. And nothing there, and Campbell fires it out of play. I've seen that a couple of times from Ontario. Just happy just to get rid of it and put it out of play. And once again, the 6th attacker out here for British Columbia with 3:22 remaining. They've had 2 chances there with that extra attacker and not getting the result so far as that block, and that actually hits the head there of Day, and he's feeling it, and now he'll go off. Lost his strap in the process, but it get the side of the ear, and boy, that's leaving a mark for him. And just like that, Nichols has to go back. Under 3 to go. 6-1. Phillips puts up a little bit of a wall there, and that stops the drive here by Ontario. And here again, Belfry puts it up, picked off as Claxton was right spot there for British Columbia. And once again, Nichols to the bench for the extra attacker. Replacing him is Higginson Trotter, number 18. Phillips. Wiseman. Nothing going. Shot at 7. Wiseman with a backhander. And Ontario has it, so they're going to have to quickly get there and get that. Oh! Poosty comes and lowers the boom. Tried to on the British Columbia player, but still got enough of a reaction. Sometimes a near miss or near hit is as good as a clean one. Pass cut towards the net. They were unable to connect. The shot clock at 4. Gonna have to hurry. And just gets the shot off in time there was Tyson Kitchen, and the stop by Nichols. And BC will call timeout with 1:29 left. And BC wondering, what do we have to do? As Cameron Pushti has been sort of, maybe what you're going to have to say, probably has been stellar, and one of the main reasons why Ontario has just been doing very well. He's only given up one. They've had lots of offense for his support, but he has been stellar and sharper, and sharp to be precise. So barring the roof collapsing here, Ontario's got to stop British Columbia's possibility of a sweep of the gold medals here at the Lacrosse Canada Minor Box Nationals. The U13 and U15 BC females team won today. Ontario looking here to break that, and they're up by 5. Another stop there by Pushti. And quickly Ontario, and just like that, Nichols has to get back. And does in time. Campbell, 2 goals so far. Campbell just happy. And now they'll just be happy just to go back and try to kill time. Double team. And gathered up. 54 seconds left. And back comes British Columbia. And like we've seen pretty much since we returned back to play, British Columbia with 6 attackers. And they're just unable to get anything going in terms of getting a shot. The offenses look good. The passes have looked good. That is off its mark, and that pretty much might do it here because Ontario has possession, and it's 23 seconds, and they got 24 to shoot. So they could just play the game of keep away, and that's what it looks like they're going to do as they go in behind their own net with 13 seconds left to go. Waving his hands up in the air was Mac Day. Countdown's on. Team Ontario U15 coed champs at the Lacrosse Canada Minor Box Nationals. To the floor level for the banner presentation, as well as we'll catch up with a member from Team Ontario U15 coed, 6-1 winners over British Columbia. Back with more. You're watching Maritime Athletic Profiles presentation of Lacrosse Canada Minor Box Nationals.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to congratulate both teams and Team Ontario for winning the U15 coed. We will start with the MVP for Team British Columbia, number 8, Grayson Hayes. For Team Ontario, the goalie, number 31, Cameron Christie. I would like to have a coach from Team British Columbia. Without any further delay, I would like to congratulate the silver medalist, Team British Columbia. Number 1, William Nichols.
Off, people, job easy. I can't put it over your helmet. Take your helmets off. Thank you.
Number 4, Kellen Wilkins. Number 5, Marcus Tillett. British Columbia. Number 8, Grayson Hayes. Number 10, Tanner Graves. Number 11, Dawson Molaski. Number 12.
Start coming up quicker, guys.
coed Zatzman.
You know your numbers. Come up quicker. Start coming up next moving.
Number 13, Stefan Rasek. Number 15, Pete Williams. Number 17, Hunter Van der Wal. Number 18, Emmett Higginson Slaughter. Number 19, James Van de Veen. Number 21, Jonah Hung. Number 22, Nate Long. Number 25, Chase Wiseman. Number 51, Harry Foreman. Number 53, Jack Oxen. Number 62, Blake Boudry. Number 88, Daxton Lau. And number 91, Hunter Lauer. I would like all the coaches, staff, and medics to approach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, the champion of U15 coed for the National Box Lacrosse, Team Ontario. Number 1, Tucker Williams. I would like to invite one of the coaches. I apologize for that one. Bad instruction. Number 4, Oliver Pacey. Number 7, Rex Campbell. Number 9, Nicholas Valinstick. Number 12, Alistair Clark. Number 13, Darren Johnson. Number 14, Aiden Summers.
You're the lowest guy to get over here so far.
Number 15, Logan Television. Number 17, Tyson Gabriel. Number 21, Cam Pemberton. Number 22, Bryce Depp.
Nice.
Number 23, Mac Day. Number 25, Bobby Scruton. Goalie at number 31, Cameron Putsky. Number 32, Jackson Corrigan. Number 57, Dyson Kitchen. Number 59, Ash Belfry. Number 88, Mason Latetsky. Number 91, Hudson Lord. And number 97, Jackson Rukatinsky. Now I would like to welcome all the coaches, staff, and medics from Team Ontario.
Liam, when they go to take the photos, could you pass me one of the camera batteries beside?
First of all, congratulations for great competitors. This was a showcase game. I admit it, and it is. So, you know, you have nothing to be ashamed about. Wonderful job, guys. Well done. Team Ontario, you are the champions for the Commissioner's Cup. U15 national champions. You should be proud. Can I see the captain, please?
What the hell is
No. Interesting. All right.
Thank you very much. Just
I guess I can go grab that battery now if you get off me.
Pull that helmet out of there.
All right, guys, all eyes in here. You're number one.
That's the last time we're going to talk to you.
Yeah, he's dead. It's fine. Okay, cheer. Cheer loud. Loud, loud, loud. Let's go. Look here. Right here. Come on. Right here.
One, two, three. One, two, three. Awesome job, boys.
Hey, Karen, congrats, buddy. Dan from Maritime Athletic Profiles. We're going to find Melvin. We're going to do an interview, all right?
Hey.
Here, good?
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is.
Well, we're back to put the finishing touches here on the U15 coed here at the National Box Championships. Here is the player of the game, and he stood stellar in between the posts. Cameron Poosty, congratulations. Your thoughts on winning?
Yeah, it was a good, hard game. We put the ball in the net and just kind of outplayed them.
Yeah, well, you were stellar because some of those shots there from British Columbia, you just seemed to be, a big brick wall. How were you happy with your play leading up to today?
Yeah, I was happy with it, and everything was just clicking and just together.
Yeah, you had that little bit of a delay while they're fixing the door. How important was it there to keep your composure and stay in the zone?
Yeah, very important, just keeping it together and just keeping focus on the game and not letting that interfere with it.
You got family here, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, well, tell them to come on in. Come on in, family. Where you at?
We're good.
Oh, they're not wanting to come in. No? Okay. Anyway, let's still stay with the topic of family. Tell them how much of the sacrifices that they've had to do for you to enjoy this moment.
Yeah, lots of driving, lots of time and effort put into helping me succeed. And all the families helping the other players.
Yeah, so of course, what's next for you?
Got hockey during the winter and then back at it during the summer with London.
Are you a goaltender in hockey as well?
No, defense.
No. Oh, you're going to play defense there. So basically, you could have a little bit of the winter off, after stopping balls. Okay. So I appreciate you. Congratulations on winning the championship and best of luck on the future.
Thank you.
Cameron Poosty from Team Ontario as they have won in the U15 coed. Well, we've got the main event coming up. U22 female. It's an all Western Canada battle. Team Alberta, Team British Columbia, and we've got it coming up in just a couple of moments here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. For the entire crew, my name's Dan Hobson. Thank you for tuning in, and so long from Dartmouth.